who is smarter when it comes to depicting their opponents as misogynistic knuckle-draggers, Labour or Tories? I'd say that the Corbynistas are, by a country mile, and yet on any objective analysis, the Parliamentary Labour Party is more riddled with sexism and bigotry and general nastiness than the Conservatives. The truth is that Corbynistas are guilty of double standards on an epic scale. This past week we have witnessed the hounding of the hitherto relatively obscure columnist Toby Young over a minor job on an education quango which most people had not heard of. Various leftish journalists and Corbynista MPs depicted him as an odious, reach-me-down Tory top though, in fact, his father was a distinguished Labour intellectual and Young attended a comprehensive, plus forum guy. D equals I3E63 DA 18E83 D23 DSRC equals http://i.dailymail.co.uk/pics/2018/01/11/00/47 D2063 E0000578 image 82_1515631983477. Height equals 504 width equals 634 alt equals Toby Young, pictured here with Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson, has been forced to stand down from the university's regulator over past comments. Class equals block sporter share, greater than. It is perfectly true that over the years he has tweeted puerile things about women's breasts and such like, for which he apologized unreservedly before being required by the government to fall on his sword. Advertising and read invented by teens, but however silly and ill-judged these tweets may have been, they were not, I would suggest, particularly extreme or notably sick-making, nor did they threaten any living person. The same cannot be said of the worst Corbynista offenders. They have said or tweeted things which make Young's effusions look positively innocuous, and yet the same Labour frontbenchers who struck attitudes of horror and outrage over his alleged excesses can't bring themselves to say a word of reproach against far more egregious sinners on their own side. Step forward. Angela Rayner, Shadow Education Secretary, and Emily Thornberry, Shadow Foreign Secretary. Both women worked themselves up into a terrific lather over Toby Young. Miss Thornberry fired off multiple angry tweets while Mrs. Rayner dispatched an excoriating letter to the Prime Minister in which the miscreant columnist was accused of a history of homophobia and misogyny and indifference to the rights of people with disabilities. Let's just say the evidence for these contentions is slight, yet the same Angela Rayner took a strikingly indulgent view of the far more offensive remarks made by Corbynista MP Jared O'Mara, some of which are too disgusting to repeat in a family newspaper. Among the less revolting ones were references to sexy little slags and poofters. He is alleged to have called a woman a bitch in a nightclub, though he denies it. O'Mara, who has seemingly disappeared from the face of the earth, also fantasized about orgies with the pop group Girls Aloud, and was rude about fat women. All pretty unpleasant. Yet Mrs. Rayner declared a few months ago that she was happy to sit alongside O'Mara in the comments after he had said he was sorry. It is a pity that she could not be so generous-hearted towards Young when he apologized for far milder comments. Plus forum guy. D equals I6F779C3A9FF5 DeepFSRC equals http://i.dailymail.co.uk/pics/2018/01/11/00/47 Fa90320000578 image A3_1515632006752.jpg height equals 340 width equals 634 alt equals Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party has faced its own accusations of anti-Semitism and sexism. Class equals block sporter share, greater than yesterday. Emily Thornberry demonstrated a similar inconsistency when asked on BBC Radio 5 Live about the infamous suggestion by Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell in 2014 that Hester McVey, then Disabilities Minister, be lynched. Around the same time he also called her a stain on humanity. Surely what McDonnell said in both instances was far more inflammatory than anything Toby Young wrote, but Miss Thornberry would only respond, "I ain't gonna answer." Fellow Corbynist Diane Abbott was similarly uncommunicative over the issue on BBC One's Andrew Marr show last October. "I realise, of course, that it's human nature to be less critical of the moral lapses of members of one's own political tribe than those in other tribes, but to ventilate over Young's comparatively harmless tweets while disregarding McDonnell's sinister ad hominem threats, well, that is a piece of shameless hypocrisy, as well as proof of political chicanery. The point is that what John McDonnell said when he was still a backbench MP betrays real malevolence, as did his joke in 2010 that he would like to go back in time and assassinate Margaret Thatcher. He repeated this so-called witticism at a meeting in 2014 without any apparent sign of contrition. Sitting alongside him on the platform was a woman who laughed out loud as he recollected his assassination fantasy. Who was this person? Angela Rayner, plus forum guy.d. = I6CF4816E0E2390BSRC = http://i.dailymail.co.uk/i/pics/2018/01/11/00/47 Phoebe 0005785256787 Image A19_1515632245047. Height = 392. Width = 634. Alt = momentum. The pro-Corbyn campaign group headed by John Landsman, pictured, has shut down its youth wing over offensive messages on social media. Class = blocks border image share, greater than there were, to be fair, some decent moderate Labour MPs who had the courage and independence of mind to condemn McDonnell over his comments about lynching Esther McVey. One was Yvette Cooper, another was Jess Phillips, but the Corbynistas habitually turn a blind eye to the incendiary language of their own kind while attempting to seize the moral high ground when a well-meaning chump such as Toby Young strays off-piste. Why do we let them get away with it? Perhaps more to the point, why do the Tories let them get away with it? Watching Toby Young being pilloried by Labour over the past week, the general public will almost certainly have got the false impression that the Conservative Party is more at fault. Even quite sensible commentators have used the case to argue that it shows how out of touch the Tories have become that they can try to impose an antediluvian top on a reluctant public. That really is rubbish. Perhaps he had to be sacrificed, but couldn't the Tories have been a bit more muscular? When Theresa May was asked about Young by Andrew Marr on Sunday, she was within her rights to say that she was not impressed by what he had tweeted. But couldn't she have taken the fight back to Labour's hypocrites by pointing out that his hysterical accusers have covered up or ignored comments and behaviour on their own side which are infinitely worse than anything he has said or done? Plus forum guy.d. = IE6C7 ed2d644a3 FSRC = http://i.dailymail.co.uk/pics/2018/01/11/480002b2 F000057852567887 Image M22_1515632477535. Height = 462. Width = 306. Alt = Labour Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell has been criticised in the past for offensive comments. He once said a female Tory minister should be lynched. Class = blocks border image share, greater than. It's true, of course, that in their demolition of Young, the Corbynistas were enormously helped by their mastery of the Twitter sphere. atmosphere, which allowed them to blast him with insults and accusations, and to spirit up an online petition with more than 200,000 signatories calling for his sacking. The sheer scope of Corbynist supremacy of social media is illustrated by the party's decision, reported in today's Mail, to shut down its hard left Momentum youth wing. Its more over-the-top activities included celebrating the Russian Revolution, extolling Marxism and defending anti-Semitism. Such extreme positions are potentially embarrassing even to the Corbynistas, but we should not imagine for a moment that Labour's toxic trollers and abusive tweeters are being put out to grass. Somehow the Tories will have to learn how to cope with the destructive forces the Corbynistas have unleashed on social media. How preposterous that they should have succeeded in portraying Toby Young as an unpleasant fanatic while being allowed to keep their squalid washing well out of sight. Following the ministerial reshuffle, and with a supposedly fresh leadership in charge of the party, it really shouldn't be beyond the ability of the Tories to expose the Corbynistas' mind-boggling hypocrisy. Truth to tell, aren't many of these people appallingly low-grade? The idea that the likes of Angela Rayner and Emily Thornberry should be able to run rings around a child of 2 is pretty risible, and yet that is exactly what they are doing with the slow-witted